When I say MrBeast, what's the first thing that you think of?
Donate to 300 more!
Real, but here's 5 grand and here's 5 grand. Hey.
There's your 10 grand.
In this car is $100,000 in duffel bags. This is literally $500,000 in $1 bills. Do you want to get inside of it? Because it's all yours.
I'm jumping in.
This man's literally pushing out cash into the economy faster than the American government is printing it. But have you thought about what he has to do on a weekly basis in order to be able to give away money like this? The simple answer to this is think of a clickbaity video.
I'm gonna spend the next 50 hours buried alive in this coffin.
Film said video.
Boys, seal me up!
Upload the video, get millions of views, and absorbently rich beyond your dreams. Buck features and get money. If only it were that easy. This is how MrBeast would realistically spend a week in his life, supposedly. He spends most of his time filming videos, assumed to be on weekdays. MrBeast is always ready to film with his boys at 9 AM. He's probably more punctual than most people that are working from their homes. As people are just clocking into work, dreary-eyed with a huge mug of coffee, MrBeast is already out in the wild, hyped up to film another video.
Today, I just bought my most terminally ill fan his replacement heart.
According to Sneeko, they try finish filming at 6 PM, but they keep shooting if the video calls for it. That's like at least 8 hours of filming where you're constantly standing/walking, while also having high energy, yelling at the camera in order to keep the viewers engaged.
We would show up at 9 AM and leave at 6, and we would spend an equal amount of time brainstorming as we would filming the video. It took 3 days to assemble these cars. We had to strip down the golf cart, strip down the go-kart, take these drills and attach the Legos one by one in the sun. It was a lot of work, but the whole time he had this image in mind of those Lego cars going down the street in the thumbnail with the Photoshop cop car in the back.
To the viewer, everything happens in under a minute, but for Jimmy, it's hours of changing location to film, setting stuff up, and keeping the same energy for continuity.
And the coolest thing that I thought, don't sue me for revealing this, the coolest thing was seeing MrBeast repeat his lines, or the craziest part also was like him having someone next to him and them jumping off ideas of what sounds better and what would make more sense. He's standing up in the front, and just picture him like this. Last one to step out of this circle wins $500,000.
I don't care how long this takes, whichever one of you leaves last wins $500,000.
Over and over and over again. And then someone next to him would be like, oh, maybe say it like this. Like maybe say something different. He's like, okay. I challenge all these 100 people to stay in this circle, and last one to leave wins $500,000. This is so humanizing, like seeing him like this. And in general, he's a pretty shy guy. Like he is not out there at all times. He's pretty mellow, he's pretty calm. He's able to turn it on like a switch when he talks to a camera and then immediately turn it off once it's off. But it was just wild to watch.
And he does this for days at a time for some videos. Which leads to the question, when does he sleep?
That's the neat thing. You don't.
So how long do you sleep?
Well, the thing is, the videos kind of fuck that up, you know, because like when we spend 24 hours in a desert, it's like, and things like that. But yeah, I have no structure for it, to be honest, but I try. Every day's different, so there is no like routine. Like one day I wake up in a desert and we spend 24 hours in a desert. The next day I wake up, I mean, we're going to Antarctica soon for a video, just for fun. So you know what I mean? Like there's not even like a slight bit of coherency.
What a way to spend a full-time job. Except that's only the part we see in front of the camera. There's still the back-end stuff he has to manage, which is way more difficult. While he's doing this, he's thinking, is all the recording equipment set up from multiple angles and locations? Does everyone know how to use them properly? Are all the stunts ready to be utilized when they need to be? Have I given the audience enough exposition so they know what's going on during the video? When should I introduce the plot twists and turns? He's thinking about all these things and probably more. Jimmy's thinking harder about videos than students sitting in tests in order to get into university. I like to view MrBeast like a duck. On the surface, he looks calm and in control, but below the surface, he's probably in a frenzy and kicking his legs as hard as possible to make the best possible video. Whereas if you told someone like me to make a video, my head would be completely empty. There's not a thought behind those eyes, except for maybe one thing. I'm gonna go on a rant that seems unrelated, but it will make sense in a minute. I have a bone to pick with the people who say that MrBeast wastes his money. This is in regards to the backlash that he got for spending $3.5 million in order to build the Squid Game sets. And to that I say, go step in a wet patch with your socks on. The original Squid Game costed $21 million to make, which is 6 times more. I didn't see Squid Game get 6 times more hate. It's not like he's wasting his money buying unnecessary things. MrBeast is just trying to do his job as a YouTuber and give people what they want to see, trying to make it as entertaining as possible along the way. To which Twitter responded, that's still a waste of money. He could be using it to help society. Dang, you have a point. If only there was a way that MrBeast was using his money in a good way and helping people out. Team Trees, Team Seas, and Beast Philanthropy is saving the environment and feeding the needy. A 23-year-old kid on YouTube is stepping up to do what governments should be doing. Even though the campaigns for these are technically over, he's still probably got to keep tabs on everything and provide the proper support as he's stamped his responsibility on it.
I was fortunate enough to visit the warehouse where MrBeast and Darren ship millions of pounds of food every month to their community. It was something like a 50-mile radius of that warehouse is receiving food from MrBeast and Darren. That's entirely off camera. It's just MrBeast, Darren, and his team helping out the community around them, getting food to people that need it in the area.
On top of this, he's still probably getting hit with business meetings. He has to manage his team, his other businesses, filming schedules, set designs, trying to collab with other channels, as well as plan and loosely script future videos. Based on my assumption that MrBeast spends his weekdays filming, the only other time he can deal with this business stuff is over weekends. These things are not urgent things that he constantly needs to deal with, but they're like little tabs open always in the background, constantly running and taking up a bit of memory space. It's like when you leave your house and you question whether you forgot to turn off your stove. Except you have 20 stoves, and your house is most likely on fire. But you can't go and check because you have more urgent things to do, like film videos. So even when you're not working, you're thinking about this stuff until the weekend. So whenever he gets the chance, these are the things he's doing to keep the lights on. Business meetings. As much as you hate them, they're still necessary. These will probably include discussing sponsorships, brand deals, collabing with other content creators, hiring more people, and the statistics of how everything's going, so they don't go into debt by $1 million or something. It's very important stuff to keep the channel afloat, especially when you have such a large team relying on you.
Yeah. I mean, on that video alone, we probably had 300 different people working on it, like at least 150 just contractors alone building stuff. Yeah. You know, 20 editors, 20 plus camera people, stuff like that. So I mean, they're getting pretty huge.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Let's not forget he's also running 2 other big businesses on the side, and he's also recently announced his third. Beast Burger needs its own app updates and software team in order to run it from the logistics sides, with proper communication with all the virtual branches to ensure customers get quality food and service. He also has to deal with merch on the side, communicating with manufacturers, balancing stock levels and deliveries. All these things are just side quests for him in order to farm more money to put back in his main quest, YouTube.
Majority of my focus on the main channel, because that's what drives all of this, and almost everything I'm doing outside my main channel is to make money so I can put it back into my main channel, because it's just not profitable. Like if we stopped upping on the gaming channel, I'd have to dial back my main channel videos because they don't make money.
After all these meetings, he'd probably have to go check in on his warehouse and see how set designs are progressing. A lot of these sets are meticulously handcrafted to suit specific videos, and Jimmy needs to oversee these to ensure they're up to his standard.
I didn't realize that every set is like custom built based on the story.
They have to come from somewhere.
Yeah. But I mean, you would think that, okay, let's reuse that, or let's see how many videos we can film in this set.
They also need props to complement the sets that we, the audience, would take for granted. For example, a frame to be able to deadlift a car. As you can't buy this stuff, it has to be custom made, and well made at that.
One more. One more.
I severely
Make it 10.
Yeah! You go to the gym and can barely deadlift 100 pounds.
And the frame that they built, they did a great job with this. They literally fabricated this for the set, just for this. And to be fair, it's one of the most sturdy car deadlift frames that I've ever used. There's literally no flex off of the bottom.
It was probably something that took days to make just by itself, but only was shown for a minute worth of content for us to enjoy. You need to scale this up by 50 times in order to make a single MrBeast video. That's why they take so long and cost so much money.
So, and if videos take 90 days to do, you know what I mean? Like that's 12 videos that in the next 90 days you got to do. And if you're not working on them now, then they won't happen in 90 days. And so it's the bottleneck space. You know what I mean? Like I've told you guys this a million times, but this is for you guys. Like if you know, one video is taking up all of our studio, well, we have 11 other videos to work on, and they can't happen till that. And so we just need tons of space to be able to work on videos months in advance, because if we don't, they don't happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So MrBeast has to make sure all props and set design are ready for videos to be filmed on. After spending a long week hustling for YouTube, he's finally able to go home and spend some time with his friends and family, only to restart the entire process again for the next week. As much as MrBeast encourages people to pursue YouTube if it's their dream job, it's easy to overlook how much work needs to be done in order to run a successful YouTube channel. Hopefully this video was a bit of an eye-opener for anyone interested, but also to show people what's possible on YouTube. I'm going to keep making videos about YouTubers and the state of YouTube, so if you're interested, join me for the ride. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.